Okay, now that we've seen what students don't like about online learning, let's take what we've just learned and let's refocus it into an intentional design for our online lessons. What are the key elements there? We have to recognize that some of our learning activities are best done in the physical classroom, whereas some can be done and transferred to an online classroom. We all have lessons we've been working on for years and years and years that were solid in the classroom, but we've got to look at them with a new critical eye. Do they apply easily to an online situation? And they may or they may not, and which means they are best saved for a regular classroom. The difference between synchronous and asynchronous. Most of you are sure are aware of this. Synchronous just simply means you're going to be leading the instruction in a Zoom room. There'll be breaks for students to complete online activities and engage with each other, but the classroom is live. Asynchronous means you're asking students to do something not in the live classroom. Homework could be considered asynchronous. It could also be a task that you would like them to do to report back on, perhaps in the afternoon. So something that a student is doing on their own. As we learned in the previous module, the asynchronous learning can be very difficult to do and to do properly. We must think about asynchronous learning as having a strong connection to students, to something they're perhaps passionate about, to something that they can apply in a very real way and personal way to them, whether it's gathering data, whether it's getting outside to write some poetry. That can be good online asynchronous learning. There's also balance between the structure of your class. We all need structure. And the more consistent a structure is across a grade level, across a content area, across a school, the better it will be for our students. But we also have to acknowledge that we're going to need some flexibility, and then not everything is going to go well every single day. I guarantee somebody's cat is going to walk across the screen, and maybe yours, and you're going to lose the class for a couple of minutes. A FedEx driver is going to come and require signature for somebody. Somebody's going to walk in the room that the student didn't anticipate, and they're going to look up and start to have a conversation with that person. So we have to recognize that we're going to need to roll with it and pop back up and do what we do best, right? Recover from those situations. So allow for some flexibility. Also, in good intentional design for online learning, there's a balance between alone activities where we want students to work independently, synchronously, but do the work independently, and also with others. We have some great tools that we're going to be able to use this year, like Nearpod, that will enable us to I think, implement both of those in our lessons. So in another module, you'll be learning how to use those presentation applications like Nearpod. Finally, students not only are just learning from us, right? That direct instruction, yes, we're critical, we're important, but they're also learning from engaging with that content. So the more we can switch gears and direct their attention to the content so that they can discover it where they're reading it, where they're watching it, embed them in the content, the better. They're going to be learning from the activities we're going to be inserting into our lessons, and they're going to be learning from each other. That part is critical and is going to be probably the most difficult challenge, getting students to work together. Just putting them into breakout rooms and expecting them to work together is probably not going to work without a lot of practice and a lot of patience and a lot of flexibility.